Imagine if you suddenly got trapped in a world where everywhere around you were endless yellow rooms, with no way out and death waiting for you at every turn. Today's movie takes us into a terrifying and mysterious world called the Backrooms. The story starts in 1990 when Async Corporation is doing secret research. Their explorer Naren gets trapped with his camera in a strange, multi-dimensional place called the Backroom. There's nothing but yellow rooms all around, and he's trying to find a way out. Following cables, he reaches a room with recording equipment. He tries to contact his team through the radio, but it's useless. As he moves forward, he feels like this place is like a broken and incomplete copy of the real world. Soon, he comes face to face with a terrifying creature called Steel Life. Naren tries really hard to survive, but in the end, he becomes the creature's prey. The Async scientists watch everything on their screens, but they can't save him. Years later, we meet Clark. Clark's wife has left him. He's struggling with alcohol and depression, and his furniture store is about to shut down. In therapy sessions, he tells Dr. Mary Klein about his broken marriage and the problems in his life. According to Clark, he did a lot for his wife, but his anger and constant stress destroyed their relationship. Mary listens to him, but she feels like Clark isn't fully taking responsibility for his mistakes. One day, Clark finds some strange electrical switches in the basement of his store that are connected differently from the rest of the system. That same night, the lights and the TV start acting weird. For a second, a strange blue room shows up on the TV. Now Clark is sure something unusual is happening in the store. He goes back to the basement and turns all the switches off. That's when he sees a mysterious light coming from inside the wall. As soon as he touches the wall, he goes straight through it. On the other side are the same back rooms we saw at the start of the movie. Clark is shocked, but out of curiosity, he goes inside. There, he sees piles of furniture that look just like his own store. He also finds the same dead bird that Naren saw. Plus, he finds Naren's dropped equipment, which proves all of this is real. But after a while, Steel Life starts chasing him. Clark barely escapes and gets back to his world. But now, a dangerous obsession with the Backrooms has been born inside him. He doesn't know that Async Corporation scientist Phil has been watching his every move through CCTV cameras. Clark tells Dr. Mary about the Backrooms and tries to convince her by showing her a map. But Mary thinks it's all just a result of his drinking and deteriorating mental state. When Mary doesn't believe him, Clark decides to get proof. He gets his employees Kat and Bobby on board and convinces them to investigate that mysterious world hidden under the basement. A while later, the three of them set out on the mission with cameras. When Clark walks right through the wall in front of them, Kat and Bobby's laughter instantly disappears. In the end, they also follow him into the Backrooms. The three keep moving forward through the endless rooms and keep recording everything on camera. During the investigation, Clark ties a rope to Bobby's waist and lowers him down a narrow passage. Once down, Bobby sees piles of clothes, but then the lights in the room ahead start flickering and Steel Life appears in front of him. Bobby panics and runs back up and tells everyone about the danger, but at the same moment, his rope suddenly goes taut and something starts dragging him into the darkness. Clark and Kat try everything to save him, but Bobby screams and disappears into the dark. Just a few moments later, Clark and Kat are attacked too. Both of them fall down and watch with their own eyes as Steel Life drags Bobby away. Kat immediately runs after Bobby, but she also disappears into that terrifying maze. Now Clark is completely alone. He can't find a way out, and there's no sign of his friends. And this is where the most terrifying part of his life begins. Meanwhile, Dr. Mary is stuck in memories of her old mother. As a kid, her mother had a mental illness and always scared her about the outside world. One day, Mary gets a message from Clark saying maybe he'll never be able to come back. Hearing this, Mary panics and immediately heads to his store. In the store's basement, Mary finds the map of the Backrooms that Clark made. At first, she doesn't believe it, but when she sees a fly go through the wall, she realizes Clark was telling the truth. To save Clark, Mary enters the Backrooms herself. She wanders through the endless rooms, calling out for Clark. After a long time, she finally meets Clark. But Clark isn't the same anymore. The Backrooms have had a deep effect on his thinking and mental state. When Mary asks what this place actually is, Clark tells her that the Backrooms make copies of the real world in human memories. But the copies are never complete, and everything takes on a terrifying, distorted shape. Right then, a loud sound is heard. Clark suddenly knocks Mary unconscious. When Mary wakes up, she finds herself tied to a chair in a place like a dining room. There are several Steel Life creatures with Clark. Clark tells Mary that when a human comes into into the Backrooms, this place starts making copies of their memories and emotions. But these copies are always incomplete and terrifying. Then, Clark tells her something even scarier. According to him, still-life creatures don't feel pain or human emotion. They're just copies that keep failing to understand humans. Mary's terror grows even more when Clark tells her that Kat is also dead. By now, the Backrooms have become a refuge for Clark, a place where he can run from facing his mistakes instead of confronting them. Clark keeps wanting to hear that his marriage falling apart wasn't his fault, but Mary tells him the truth. She says no one else is responsible for the destruction of his life. He is. Hearing this, Clark's delusion starts breaking for the first time. He realizes his mistakes and frees Mary. But at that exact moment, a new horror shows up. A terrifying monster in the form of Captain Clark appears there. It's not some ordinary creature. It's the physical form of Clark's anger, ego, regret, and failures. The Backrooms have turned the darkness inside him into reality. Clark tries to stop the monster, like he's facing his own dark side, but the monster doesn't listen and attacks him. In the end, Clark becomes a victim of the darkness he created himself and dies. Mary somehow manages to escape from there, but Captain Clark is still chasing her. While running, she reaches a part of the Backrooms that looks like a distorted copy of Kat and Bobby's neighborhood. Mary is badly injured, but she still doesn't give up. Finally, in one place, she faces Captain Clark again. Trying to survive, she attacks him and breaks his wooden leg. But during the fight, a device activates and a strange gas starts spreading through the whole room. Captain Clark tries to overpower Mary again. At that moment, Mary takes out a stone hand from her pocket that's tied to childhood memories and hits the monster with all her strength. Taking advantage of the moment, she gets out of there. As soon as she reaches the other side, some masked people surround her and knock her unconscious with gas spray. When Mary comes to, she finds out that these are Async Corporation scientists. They've taken control of the whole situation. Mary is taken to a secure facility and interrogated. There, she meets a scientist named Phil. Phil tells her that Async used to be a company that made MRI machines, but after discovering the Backrooms, their mission changed completely. Now, they've been mapping and researching the Backrooms for years. Even so, they still know very little about this mysterious world. At first, Mary keeps answering their question, but then she suspects that maybe they won't let her live after the interrogation, so she stops answering. But now, the movie's scariest secret is revealed. It turns out the Backrooms don't just trap people, they also learn from them. They absorb people's memories, emotions, and mental wounds. In the final moments of the movie, it's revealed that the Backrooms have started making a new still-life copy of the interrogation room, and of Mary too, which means the horror isn't over yet. And with that terrifying hint, the movie comes to an end. If you liked this explanation, then don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.